over the past week, the Seawolves played the only other team in Major League Rugby to win the MLR title, with Seattle winning the first 2020 season. You don't know the season ends early. And then 2021, LA wins it. You play LA over the past week. Didn't end in the way you'd like. Seattle would lose that game 12-31. It was kind of what we've seen from Seattle kind of all season. Even in their 3-0 start, the Seawolves had turnover issues, and just in this game they looked like they were trying to get too fancy, right? If you're playing the defending champs, a team that is 3-3, right? So they're kind of at where you were at. You don't want to just get back to basics. You've got a lot of talent on this roster. You've got a group that some guys that are still with the team from those championship rosters. Why get too fancy? You know, there are a lot of times where Seattle had good possessions. They were moving the ball down the field, getting near the try line, and then, you know, an unnecessary kick or a bad kick pass would just sail out of bounds. It's like you just wasted a perfectly good possession and a kick that, you know, you rushed, right? Or turnovers. There was one right in front of me where Seattle was coming down to punch it in, and the ball squirts out, goes out of bounds. It's just turnovers have been such a big issue for this team, and just looked overall sloppy. You know, the sloppy play cannot happen, especially when you're playing the defending champs. It's, you know, maybe against Dallas, right? We talked about last week. You're playing an expansion team that's 0-6. You might have some leeway to be able to
try some new things. Yeah,
it's like a tune-up game, not against the defending champs. And now you're sitting at 4-4. You're heading into your bye week. You know, you take some time off, I guess, but also you got to look at yourselves and say, hey, you know, you're at third in the Western Conference right now, so you're not a far shot out of it. You're only 2 points outside of second. Got to figure it out, and if you want to, you know, get back to the level that you've been at, really look at yourself and say, hey, we got to tighten some things up. You know, so I'm hoping that can happen, because I know that you're on the doorstep, but you have to be able to tighten that one bolt that's, you know, kind of loose.
Yeah.
You know,
and it looks like the loss was the team as a whole there, because you didn't even have a player of the game this week.
No. The only thing I guess that's positive from that game was that wing player Martin Iosefo had to leave right after halftime because his wife went into labor. And from what I understand, that went all good. So congratulations. You know, I believe it's Danny and Martin on the birth of their child. So a little bit, some good news from that. We have some other good news. We have a signing and a Player of the Week honor. On the 23rd, it was announced that team captain Reichert Hadding was named the U.S. MLR Player of the Week for his performance against Dallas, recording 1 try, 16 ball carries, traveling 190 meters, and recording 10 tackles. On the 25th, the team signed Ty Enosa through the 2022 season as a utility back that used to play for the San Diego Legion back in 2019 and has played on the USA 7 team. So interesting to note with the players that Seattle signed since we've been covering the team, right? A lot of national team representation. Mm-hmm. And that's why it frustrates me. You know, you look at this team in the sloppy play, right? You've got a lot of talent, a lot of veteran presence. And Captain Reichert is still playing outstanding rugby. And these sloppy plays continue to happen. You know, so I really don't think Seattle's that far off. I really don't. But just like with other teams we've talked about, if the adjustments aren't made, it doesn't matter, right? If it's broken, you have to fix it. Mm-hmm. It's not like there's nothing broken. You can leave it alone. You got to fix it, you know. So I'm hoping for that. But the Seawolves get a week off. When we come back to you next week, looking ahead, it was April 9th at the New England Free Jacks at 1:30. New England is 6-1, and that's this week. So they can improve that and go 7-1. They are leading the Eastern Conference, so it's not going to be an easy challenge.
Not at all.
So remember what I've just said about, you know, improving and adjusting? You got to do that quick.
And they have a week to do it, so hopefully
so you might get embarrassed if you don't. So that is our week in Seattle sports. We've got some Seahawks stuff that's kind of murmurs. You know, the Mariners are in full swing spring training. The Storm, some internal stuff, but also an announcement about preseason. The Kraken is kind of a mixed bag. As it's been always, it's been all season. The Sounders, a big upcoming week. The Reign, really a kind of almost a statement win, I'd say. Coming up, another big week against Portland. Any week against Portland's a big week. And then the Seawolves, kind of a disappointing week. So do you have any overbearing thoughts on anything? Just kind of happy that we didn't have to go through what we've had to cover the last few weeks.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's been a very robust amount of news in the last few weeks. And so it was kind of nice to just be able to talk about some games for a change and how teams are doing, but also kind of in shock that we're going into April now.
It is pretty wild to think
Yeah.
about, because for a while I've looked at like the games on April 2nd and 3rd, like, oh, it's a bit out. Nah, that's this week. So
Yeah.
with that being said, we will see you on, oh boy, what is that? I don't even remember.
The
The 4th. We will see you on April 4th for next week's version of Circling Shell Sports on Converge. Until then, Bel Garcia, Charles Hammaker, we will see you next week. Do your best to make today a great day.